We've ordered I need a supervisor outside on, like the garden outside. PD. No, I'm good. We need a PD. We need you outside. We requested a supervisor outside PD. Mr. Ice is illegally arresting someone and did not use proper macros. Mr. Ice. Chris does. He's right next to me. Mr. Ice. Early retirement and the biggest, the largest. Oh, they're putting the music already going down. Alright, I'm with Twisted. I'm talking to Twisted. Right. Okay. Um, he already did. Think 10-4, thank you.
Hey, Aiden.
What's up?
You know, in Yuba, you have to use macros now. They literally ban you for not using macros.
Oh yeah, they're like, we don't gotta use
That up and it get banned.
people. They're like, well,
I shot him and killed him.
I don't even know if he
was. Yeah, he's losing his spot as well, and that's definitely putting icing on it.
Hunter.
Go join a gang or go join a faction, but I forgot you're too young to join a faction.
My God, I'm too young. He's coming with a young. He coming with.
Happened was
Doing the right thing by it.
so he when he was parking out and got
Little snitch. Gang members, police doing that.
fucked up. You too. But
He beat.
I
mean, the people.
Us, and so we were sitting there trying to tase him, and
niggas want to make this up known so much.
You see, I try this up in the chat. I'm gonna put it off again. You're under arrest. And
now, Mr. Ice, hold on. So the biggest, I want you to look to your right, and I want you to see that he does have a vest on, and he is not just a badged officer. So I want to remember that you did tell me that I'm a dummy because I don't know what I'm doing, but he does have a vest on.
You got it, bro. You got it. My fault, gang. You got it.
You can go ahead and process, Mr. Ice.
Yo, this nigga, I don't got BC, but this nigga's wild, bro. Yeah, this nigga wild. I don't got BC. Somebody else got BC though.
Go ahead and process your arrest.
This weak ass nigga right here, dog.
he's just gonna.
Because you're just kind of just
Officer,
you're not.
You see him hitting me, eh? Yeah, you see him hitting
buddy. Minute, and he this box is on right now. I literally tried telling him, like, you cannot just arrest them. That's a whole nother ball. Now I get him in cuffs. He didn't even throw up the macro for weapons. That on the department. He got 3 same motherfucker that were disrespecting my damn boss and all fucking night.
I forwarded.
Nobody has BC
On some 3 people, and he got tased.
At the beginning, like
It's gonna look like a badass.
And I had up and take a squeeze.
Come at them with a screen.
Please, against PD6 Ghost Rain. Can you text Mystic? He has his troll. 3 charges. Very well, usually, just so I can say, what are we doing? Yo, he got body kick. For sure.
Intended for the most.
Oh,
Your general 8.
once you down there to kind of, so yeah, I'm not gonna say
Empire.
person. No, I know.
You.
Bro, Malibu PD don't need Phaso. He went into the get like schedule. Surprised he's still here.
Even dressed like, come on.
I'll lose it.
Did he hit the wrong?
H.
All right, so send me it first so I can look at it real quick.
You know?
Yeah. Great.
Like it was insane.
You still call him?
Yeah, go take a log now.
You in here? You.
Anyway.
Leadership. I don't. All I can do is
You guys
rest, but it's up to them.
It's like trying to use Google.
Speaker.
Understand?
Send it up.
It's been an
not allowed to discuss
this game.
Too so much. I forgive you bad if I know, but you know.
Just see.
That train will get it in their head on the mess. Okay. Especially number.
So, afuera desse. No,
What'd you say? I was looking at something.
Batch, non-batch, that's right.
I requested his BC because there was complaints, and obviously I felt like he had done something wrong, so I needed to see his BC. And then when he come in with the people, Chief just talked to us in the meeting about being alone as a vested out on patrols, and I didn't see anybody else in the car with him, even when he pulled up. So those are a lot of the reasons why I did. We can request their BC at any given time we want for whatever reason that we want. We don't have to have a reason to request their BC.
Yeah, we can't just like off rip like pull people's BCs just because we kind of feel like it. In the past, that was something that we used to do, but then they started clearing that up because people were complaining that, oh, how come I'm getting my PC pulled constantly and this and that. So to make it fair across the board, we would need to receive BC footage of somebody of them doing something wrong so we could place them at the scene, and then that's
But
when
at
we're
that
able
point,
to
I
request
didn't
their
have to
BC.
receive nobody else's BC because at that point I knew he was doing something wrong, which is not being out with another vest. It has nothing to do with their complaint. Twisted, hold your mic, please, because I don't need you to continue to talk over me. I mean, I've let you talk, and I'm trying to explain myself. I'm asking you to hold your mic. I'm asking you to hold your mic. I just talked with Nice Guy about this situation. Nice Guy told me to request his BC. So if you have an issue with me requesting his BC, you need to talk with Nice Guy. The one reason Nice Guy was there right before you pulled up, Twisted. The number one reason Nice Guy had me request his BC. See, like, it's not professional if one person is talking and then for the other person to start talking over them, especially as an MG. The reason I requested his BC is because one, the red flag that I noticed is that he had no other vest, nobody out there with him at all. He told me that himself.
So at that point, I need for you to even be out there by yourself. That is the reason that I requested his BC, not because of the complaint that they gave me. It had nothing to do with the complaint that they gave me at all. But Chief just said in the meeting that field training officers should not be out by themselves. They need a vet, a bashed or unbashed out with them, training and teaching and them the ropes as they go. So that is the number one reason I requested his BC. But if you feel like I've done something wrong, I would need you to at least report that to the nice guy, and he'll explain the reason that I've done that.
Yeah, on that note, just like I said in the chat, I've done that as well. Like if I see something like Jadel said, if I observe like a badge by themselves, I ask them where they were, and if they're like really shaky about it, that's when I ask for their body cam. And half of the time I do receive it, half of the time I get oh, I forgot to turn it on, this and that. So I mean that's a whole nother different problem by itself, right? Like if it goes down that route. But I've also done that as well. What I was speaking about is more towards like a situation you were being told about, but as Jadil said, it was something that he witnessed himself. So
Yeah,
in
it had
that
nothing to
case,
do with the complaint.
yeah, in that case, well, like for example, I'm always rolling body cam, so like what I witness is gonna be on body cam. So like in that case, I could use my own body cam as like evidence to like their body cam, so to speak. That's that's where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? I mean that's because I'm always like rolling body cam and whatnot. So I mean that's how like I could request body cam footage. Like in that type of situation, if I witness it myself, then obviously I could use my body cam versus theirs, right? Like at that point, I would be able to pull their body cam, because that's what Jadel is talking about, and what we're talking about. Blessed is obviously if somebody comes to us with like a complaint, then we would have to have BC on their side in order for us to pull the BC of the officer in question.
And I
That's
understand
what's
that,
going on.
but even as like before I even got this promotion and stuff, blessed I've had you, and I got proof in my chat, like in our DMs on Discord. I've had to send you my BC, and nobody ever, just when complaints were made and like there was no other BC that sent to you, you requested my BC off rip for no other reason other than the person making the complaint. So at this point, like I stated that I did not request this BC based off of what the complaint. I get where you're coming from, and I mean, I've definitely looked into it, and it's just a lot of stuff I'm not gonna go into because I just don't want to. Like when it comes to ways we handle stuff, just like when I was handling that situation, like you just completely come and take like all full control of the situation. And nice guys already seen the BC, so I'm sure like you had to send it to him, so you still requested that guy's BC. Um, Yourself either way around it goes because somebody had to request it if nice guys seen it and they haven't. That's a different story. So at that point, you should pull me to the side. So I got the supervisor request from the officer, not about nothing about a phone call. So I'm done with this situation because I got the supervisor request, like I said, over the walkie and through Flobby, not over a phone call. This came through Flobby and over the walkie. So as a supervisor, I went down and I started handling the situation. Now, if you had got part of it over a phone call, you could have pulled me to the side and said, "Hey, Jadell, yada yada yada, XYZ, hold on, let's try to get this figured out." But in the middle of all them, which will be included on his BC one that he has to upload into the BC category form on Discord, you just come and just take control of the situation. And then now I just didn't know what's going on, whether it was handled or not. And he just kind of disappeared. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. There's just a lot better ways to handle situations. Like if you're handling the complaint, no matter if I got part of what's going on or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna pull you to the side and we'll say, "Hey, Twisted, this is what I hear and this is what I got going on. This is what I heard somebody call and tell me, and that's how we're gonna handle the situation." But at this point, I appreciate y'all letting me know that. I will make sure that I correct that going forward after I verify that I could have been in the wrong if I had no reason other than the reason that I did request his body camera for. Like I said, I'm talking to Chief and them with it right now. But like I said, I didn't request his body camera just based off the complaint. I requested his body camera because he was out there alone, and that's something that I could send up to Chief and show Chief and be like, "Hey, Chief, after we just had this meeting today, we have Mr. Ice who's also out patrolling alone. Just that alone is something he was not supposed to be doing, and so that is the main reason that I requested his BC. It had nothing to do with their complaint. And all honesty, they were just yapping, so I really didn't even hear half of the stuff they was complaining about. They told me they didn't have BC themselves. I don't care who else really had BC. They didn't have BC themselves. So I really wasn't worried about their complaint. I was just needing Mr. Ice's BC to see why he was out there alone, or to see if he was ever with another vested officer at any given time, or another unbashed or bashed officer at any given time during that contact with those suspects. So that's the reason I requested his BC. Because if he left PDG by himself and he made contact with those people by himself, then he was in the wrong for not having no one else with him, which is what he was supposed to be doing, especially when we had other people standing on 4-0 needing to go out. So that's the main reason I requested his BC from him. And also, so I'm gonna make this very plain and clear. I text Yaz and I said so, and I'm also texting Chief, but he don't text back as quick as Yaz. I said so. If I have a supervisor request call and they're complaining but don't have BC, if I want it, can I still request the officer's BC? Yaz text back and said yes, of course. So that kind of ends the conversation right there. And that's, I mean, I don't know the rules. Maybe y'all need to talk with them and we all need to get on one accord about it if y'all have heard different. But I literally just have got with Yaz and she just told me if they don't have BC, I have rights to request that officer's BC just based, and she's telling me I have rights to request their BC based off their complaint, not just because of, you know what I'm saying, like you know what I'm saying, just based off their complaint. If I wanted that officer's BC and the complainants don't have BC, I can still request that officer's BC. That's exactly what Yaz is telling me right now.
Yeah, if you're answering a supervisor request call, and once you get there, yeah, you could ask for BC. I mean, because obviously, how are you gonna, see the full picture if you don't see the officer's BC of like the situation or whatnot? In those cases, yeah, you're allowed to ask for body cam because I mean, like I just said, how else are we supposed to see like what happened during the situation and whatnot?
So we started this conversation because y'all come in here and y'all said I had no rights to request this BC, thinking that I requested it just based off their complaints when they didn't have BC. Yaz is telling me now that I had, whether they had BC or not, I can still request that officer's BC based off their complaints. That's what she's basically telling me right now. And so I'm just trying to figure out like where is this, like, so like do y'all still feel like I done something wrong or not? Like I get where you're coming from, Aiden, and I totally understand it. But I just don't get where Miss General Bless is coming from by telling me that I'm wrong by doing that. And it wasn't because of like complaint.
Yeah, no, I see where the confusion happened. On our part, we got the complaint call, so that's why we needed like body cam from their side or whatnot. But Mr. Jadell here, he was answering a supervisor call, so that's why he was able to request the body cam from Mr. Ice. You see what I'm saying? That this is where the wires got crossed, so to speak.
So going forward, before trying to bust somebody's bubbles, we should all just talk about it. The way y'all came in here um, is not the way that we should have like started this conversation. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Like it just we just got to change things because I like this has been like an ongoing thing with especially with and I'm not talking about you, Aiden, and this is like more from Miss General Blessing. We're having just a regular conversation here, just on a lot of different levels and things. Like and the one thing that I want to stop as well, I understand that you trained me on RP one and two academy, but all of this like every time we're turning around, oh I trained Jadell after he got fired one time. That's not professional at all either to continue to tell people. And I would like for that to stop. And if I am, I would like for you to bring it up to. I would like to be corrected when I'm wrong, and I don't mind taking corrective criticism. I'm just don't you know what I'm saying. I just want it to be the right way, like you know what I'm saying when it's done, and about something that's actually correct, not just to try to bust somebody's bubbles. I don't mind being corrected when I'm wrong at all. I really don't.
No, yeah, I think we just yeah, there was just like, you know, one thing was being uh thought of instead of something else that went on. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, like the wires got crossed here. So I mean, from my point of view, I mean we're chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing went wrong. I mean, Miss Bless thought it was part of like the complaint that we were answering to, but Jadell here was answering a supervisor call, so that's like a whole different other situation. Because I'm pretty sure the body cam that he requested was different from the body cam that we requested. I'm not sure if Mr. Ice is just sending out the same version of body cam. You hear me? But in this situation, yes, two different situations, and I'm pretty sure we just got like confused on what was going on. Yeah, because for our part, since we got the complaint, we have to have BC from their part in order for us to pull Mr. Ice's BC. But on just Dell's side, he was answering a supervisor call, so yeah, he's within his right to request that body cam footage off of Mr. Ice. Cause I mean, yeah, like how else are we supposed to, see what happened whenever we answer a supervisor call if we don't pull that BC and then we're able to like, see the situation with our own eyes and whatnot.
Probably not at any time, but when we're having to like, I can't just walk up to somebody on 4-0, never no complaints or supervisor calls or anything, and say, "Hey, I need your BC." But if I answer a supervisor call and I come down to that car and there's, you know what I'm saying, and I see first of all without even listening to their complaint, I see that you're already wrong. Number one for being by yourself. And I don't know whether you're by yourself or not, then I can request your BC with that alone because I need to figure out whether you're by yourself or not. It's not just because I wanted to request your body camera. It's because I'm trying to figure out like what you're violating rules, whether you're violating rules or not by being by yourself. And that's the main reason I pulled this BC, not because of their complaints.
During a supervisor call? That's interesting. I mean, because the way Well, the way that I was learned, like that I learned how he did it is during supervisor calls, you are allowed to pull BC. During complaints, the other side needs to provide BC, placing themselves and the officer at the scene, and then we're able to pull BC from the officer in question. So, yeah, something's a little off here.
See, the main thing about what you're saying, Aiden, like if let's say if I walk up into the lobby, right, and I got a complaint on an officer, without me as a complainant sending in my BC, I can't just go up to the officer and say, "Hey, I need you to send you to send in the BC when you were over at such and such such," because you might or over at the PD gun store. You were probably over at the PD gun store 1,000 different times. So if me as a complainant don't have BC to prove when you were over there, I don't have a timestamp of when I need to go back and ask that officer when what part of the BC I need them to send. So, but it's different for supervisor calls, like you were saying, because I know, okay, I'm right here already. I know, what I'm saying, what's going on and the situation of when I need to request this BC. And that would be from the situation that I'm currently handling, not something that occurred and whenever. You get what I'm saying?
No, yeah, of course, I understand what you're talking about.
So the complaint part, I can understand that you definitely need the person that's complaining BC, because like we're not gonna have our officers just go dig for days looking for BC, and we don't even have a timestamp from the complainant of when something might have happened. You get what I'm saying? But if I go to a car answering a supervisor call from someone when they're like just now and then being arrested, that's different. But like I stated, the main reason I requested this BC is because I knew he was already in the wrong by being by himself. And that's not the first time I've seen Mr. Ice just jump out. And that's the thing, like it's not my first time seeing him just jump out, you know what I'm saying, and go off on a patrol by himself. But after the meeting we just had tonight, it's like I got to step up about this because Gildo do not want that happening, and especially when we got officers standing around on 4-0. And I listened to during this situation, I as well listened to my higher up. Like right before you came, Nice Guy was literally just standing right there in front of the car, not saying anything, just listening to everything that's going on. And he literally texted my phone and said, "Request this BC." That's what Nice Guy literally texted me and said. He would say, "Request this BC and review it." But my reasoning for requesting it is because he was there alone by himself and he shouldn't have been. So that's the main reason I requested it, on top of Nice Guy asking me to. All right. Well, I guess we'll have a talk with the higher ups at some point whenever they're available. Or, like I know I'm texting Yaz right now. She's explaining it to me. But I guess if Gildo happens to text you something different, you just kind of let him know the situation was revolving me, and he'll get with me on it to correct me, so that we can move forward and make sure that the right things are happening going forward. I got you. Well, I'm gonna head on out and go back to floor 0 and figure out what else I can get into. I'll catch y'all later.